Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. One of the most hyped sets on release, whether that lives up to the hype is a different question. Here's the third set of the all-new G-era G-Set 3 Sovereign Star Dragon. As usual, this video will follow our three-part structure, first starting with a brief overview of the events, then highlighting some key units, and lastly finishing up with some hindsight in the competitive scene. So whenever you're ready, let's begin it. Starting off with G-Set 3, this was the month of December for JP, so probably February for Global. Before I proceed, here's my obligatory statement that this video is mostly an informed or educated guess based on the JP experience. Most of the contents here are not 100% confirmed for Global, but you can expect most of it to be similar if not the same. So there's a lot to cover, and let's keep going. First of all, this set, G-Set 3, features 3 clans: Link Joker, Shadow Paladin, and Gold Paladin. What's good? Skip to part 2 if you want to see my rankings and keycards to logo for, but before that, let's talk about events and some other things that this month brings to us. So first of all, we have the new month, login bonus. For JP, you get 20 packs. For Global, you get like 5 plus 10. So, it is free packs, and free packs are good packs. Next up, for fight skins, we have the new skins for Taiyo, Asukawa. For Gold Paladins, we have Koji Ipuki for Link Joker and Yoichiro Kanzaki for Shadow Paladin. Of course, the character fights will be included as well. One thing to note is that Kanzaki's story will not be readable until the main story reaches that part, which is the month afterwards with G-Set 4. So unfortunately, you won't be able to claim those gems and the skins and the sleeves, whatever, for the keys, but you will be in the coming month. We also have the same thing for Carl Yamaji for Dimension Police and Shinemonita for Murakumo. So spoilers alert, these will be the clan events for the month, but we will talk about those in a bit. Tournament stuff for these 2 seasons. Of course, there's no official tournament anymore, but you'll be still able to farm these V coupons through the rank ladder. For this month, we have the return of Overlord Rebirth and Blaster Blade Seeker, so pick them up if you haven't already, and maybe Rebirth for the Glendio support. So speaking of the clan events, this is the first one for the month. We have Dimension Police that ran from the 5th to the 13th of December. The boost skins being Oyama, the Narukami G skin, Ibuki, the Link Joker G skin, Taiyo, the Gold Paladin G skin, and Tsuneto, the Oracle Think Tank G skin. We also have the Murakumo events that came very closely right after, on the 16th to the 24th of December. The boost skins being Yamaji from Dimension Police, the previous event. We have Oyama, Narukami, Ibuki, Link Joker, and Kanzaki from Shadow Paladin. So if you're interested in these clans, definitely pick up their boost skins, and it will boost your drops. So that's pretty good, right? In terms of the rank rewards, we have the first rank reward of the month being Sunrise Ray Night Gurgui. Get good. This is season 48, Night of the Sun, where other than Gurgui, we also have Gurgui in the form of a sleeve, and also Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo. Very good looking art. And for the second half of the month, we have the Alter Ego Messiah doing its rider kick. Season 49 is the Fateful Start Messiah. Of course, you have Messiah as the rank reward, but also Messiah as a sleeve, and Amnesty Messiah as another sleeve. So definitely very good looking units. Definitely will be grinding for this, so I wonder if you were too. We also have a Christmas event now. I was considering getting rid of this, but Global didn't really get something similar. So I mean, we kind of did, but it's kind of different enough to mention. We have the login bonus and Christmas fight to get 3 packs per win, so you get a total of 6 G-Set 3 packs. On the 23rd to the 24th, you got to fight against Aichi, and the 24th to the 25th, you got to fight against Kai. And it was pretty funny because they were playing decks back from like OG set 1. So, of course, time has passed, but the free packs, you definitely can't pass on that. Hopefully, we will get those as well, but you never know. So here is the little pickle of this set overview. G-Set 3 did coincide with JP's 2nd anniversary, and this is really awkward because technically Global's anniversary should be around G-Set 5, which is 3 months down the line, So that would be what, February, March, April? So what are we gonna do about that? I guess I'll bring them up, but maybe do a different video because there is a lot to cover for Fighters Collection specifically. But let's talk about the missions and all that comes along with the 2nd anniversary anyways. But again, like personally, I do think that Fighters Collection, it would be awkward to postpone it, but you never know. Like if it's really associated with the anniversary, it would come with the anniversary. But again, it's super speculative. There's no facts about it coming to global, but we'll see. I guess we'll see when it comes. So for the 2nd anniversary, we have login bonuses. So day 1, you have the 2nd anniversary Chrono and Aichi sleeve. Day 2, you have V medals, 150 V medals. Day 3, you have the profile icons. Day 4, you got 50 gacha packs, the OG gacha packs. Day 5, you have the 2nd anniversary Chrono and Aichi banners. Day 6, you have 200 V medals, and day 7, you have 5 of next month's G set 4-pack. So, well, if this comes like down the line for global, then it would be 5 of whatever the next month's pack is. We also have campaign badge exchanges, so you have all the sleeves, so 20 new G character and 25 rerun of the mini character sleeves. You have 2 campaign badges each to exchange for them. One for the next month's pack will require 10 campaign badges. Yep. For every campaign badge, you can exchange for 2 V medals, and for every 2 campaign badge, you can exchange for 1 skip ticket as well. So excuse me for that confusion, but overall, you know, obviously pick up the packs from the next month, and the sleeves are super cute. But if you are missing some old stuff, you can definitely exchange for the V medals and exchange for the old packs, and then go for the clan gacha or the old gachas as well. Note that all the sleeves and packs will be able to be obtained if all the team quests and login bonuses are completed. So if you want the aesthetics and the packs only, then definitely don't worry about that. Speaking of the team quests, from December 5th to January 1st, using different fight skins, team members will need to complete a variety of tasks. This includes fighting with skins from Asia Circuit, from Legion era and whatnot, so hopefully you do have those skins ready to go. Speaking of Legion skins, they never got reran yet, but starting from this month, they are back, and also 30% off Vanguard fight skins. So that's definitely very nice, because it's really hard to get new G skins if you are a free-to-play player. And I guess, you know, at least you have the old skins to exchange if you want to change of pace. We also got a rank fight week, which lasted roughly around the last week. All rank fights points will be doubled, which definitely really helped. And they also got nice sleeves for the G zone, so that's pretty nice. You get to customize them now. One big thing is the introductions of Harmonix Messiah. This is the unit from the movie, and everyone got a free copy. So this unit is a 16k base and has the new skill: when placed, choose any number of lock cards and unlock them. Then for each unlocked card, discard 1 card, and it can be used for all clans. Now this is pretty big because, of course, alongside 2nd anniversary, we got Link Joker support, and Link Joker lock stuff, Harmonix Messiah unlock stuff. So there's that. Yeah. So, you know, maybe, you know, definitely tech one of those in if you can. Speaking of the Fighters Collection, this is another big banner. G units, Strat Fighters, and GPGs for all clans. 1 pack costs 400 gems, and 1 box has 54 packs. And you have like a bunch of GRs available. Each pack is guaranteed to give you 1 triple rare or above, and all cards in the set is double rare at the very least. You can complete your limited time missions for 1 free box, and that's 54 packs. You will also get 10 heart melts for every 10 packs opened. There will be an exchange for the heart cards with the strides in the box. What I mean by heart cards is the grade 3 and other related units with the stride. So for example, you have Easel stride, then the heart unit, well, you have Easel in the exchange shop, you have Glendios, then you have Glendios in the exchange shop, you have Tsukiyomi, then you have Tsukiyomi in the exchange shop. So this is really nice because even though you might have missed the OG support, if you pull, you know, a bunch of Easels, then you can still exchange for Easels and maybe craft the double rare below in your own time by farming. There are a total of 66 triple rares and 29 double rares that will be exchangeable, so definitely consider that. But I think most importantly, it's the free packs. So you can get a free box, so if you don't reroll or reset the box, you could basically be guaranteed one copy of everything if you want to be collecting everything. And definitely go check out my pack opening, because this set was super fun to open. And if it's worth the 400 gems to open more, well, that depends on you. But having support for every single clan without waiting for their support in like either a clan event or a main set is definitely very, very appreciated. Now let's talk about key cards to look out for. Here we pick a few key units per clan with a focus on the key grade 3 and some support units. And from now onwards, this will include event clans too. Well, not from now onwards, and we did include event clans from last month, but here we go. So first of all, I'm going to put Messiah up at the top. Messiah is quite interesting. It's a multi-attacking clan. Lock got kind of nerfed, but it still does, well, the main kind of idea that Messiah wants to have with them. When you're unlocking, you get to still last one draw a card, which is kind of reminiscent of Chaosbreaker Dragon. But when you stride, you can carry +1 to lock one of each player's rearguards, and this way you can actually enable your multi-attacking because you can unlock during the battle phase. In addition, of course, you have support like Arrest Your Messiah, the grade 2, which says when placed, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater Messiah, it's +2k. And at the end of the battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard, lock this unit to choose one of either player's back row rearguards and lock it. This means that you can attack with Arrest Your Messiah, lock itself, and then unlock it for another swing. Awakening Messiah also synergizes with this locking and unlocking. GB1 and the rearguards. When this unit is unlocked during your turn, stand one of your other rearguards and that unit gets +2k. So, you could toss this in the front row, back row, just however you lock this card. When it's unlocked, you get to do stuff. And the multi-attack. To do these shenanigans, so far we have one key unit, Amnesty Messiah, which is the GR actually. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, carry +1 to unlock any number of locked cards. It gets +3k for each one. And if you unlock 3 or more, it gets critical +1. So your winning strategy is to lock out your opponent's front rows, multi-attack to your opponent's face, Amnesty Messiah, unlock your locked front rows, and then go to swing again. Lastly, you also have Big Crunch Dragon, which says Vanguard Circle GB2, once per turn, carry +1, Persona Blast itself to choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and lock all of your opponent's rearguards in the same column as it. This is the main way you get a traditional lock on your opponent if you are playing Messiah, and shutting down one whole column is definitely still very, very strong, and there must be a reason why they nerfed lock after all. So yeah, the biggest change is Messiah, at the start of your opponent's next battle phase, unlock your opponent's card that were locked by its own effect. But overall, it still does what it wants to do, locking stuff on the board, unlocking your stuff on the board, and multi-attacking and pressuring your opponent for game. Next, we have Shadow Paladin with Blaster Dark Diablo. It's quite interesting because it specifically synergizes with its own support. Remember, in the TCG, it came out with the Legend deck, so it was very Ren-specific Shadow Paladin build. So when you stride with Blaster Diablo, then you get to retire one, and of course it synergizes well with its own archetype with the Blaster Grade 4. When you're paying for the cost for your Blaster G unit stride, when you're in GB2, any card in your hand gets grade +3, so you can discard anything for stride, essentially. Of course, can't forget about Cleared Sword Dragon, which is Kanzaki's grade 3. Obviously I'm biased towards Blaster Dark, but it's something. Vanguard Circle GB2, once per turn, retire 2 of your rearguards to get +10k and a crit. So even if you don't have strides, you can still apply pressure. In addition, when you stride, you can carry +1, return any number of grade 1s other than Sentinels from drops into your deck, and call a grade 1 or less card from your deck and give it +2k. So this way, you're kind of recycling your deck, your strides, and all that synergizes with drawing into grade 1s or less, secure calling grade 1s or less, and doing more shenanigans. So it helps you refill your deck and avoid deck outs as well, so that's really helpful. Blaster Diablo, Phantom Blaster Diablo is your key grade 4 stride with the pressure. Of course, when you're striding on top of Blaster Dark Diablo, you get to retire. But mainly, even if you are playing Cleric Sword, it's still a very valuable addition. Vanguard Circle GB2, once per turn, carry +1, Chi Persona Blast, and get +10k and a crit. And the following ability, Vanguard Circle, when it attacks a Vanguard, retire 3 rearguards, and if your opponent has 1 or less rearguards, they must choose a grade 3 or greater at random from their hand when activating Sentinel during the battle, and discard it. If they do not, it does not activate. If your opponent has 2 or more rearguards, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and retire them. So it did get nerfed, but it still gives you that crit and power. It gives you that removal if you want that. but it also gives you that guard restrict if you can set it up properly. So that's very devastating. And lastly, we have Aura Gazer Dragon, which synergizes better with Cleric, I guess, but it's still very important to have in a blaster deck as well. Vanguard Circle, when it attacks, counterblast 1, cheap Persona Blast itself, and retire 2 rearguards to check top 2, reveal them, and add them to your hand. It gets plus 5k for every grade 1 or less revealed. So it's still great because you have, you have Shadow Paladins that superior call a lot. You can, call out tokens or whatever does. You can retire them to draw 2 new cards and keep going. One important thing is that Aura Gazer Dragon, it sets up GB2 without requiring GB2 itself. So then you can go Aura Gazer Dragon on your first turn, and then immediately have Blaster Dark Diablo's GB2 or Cleric Sword Dragon's GB2 active, and then go ham without striding, or just make stride cheaper. So it's a very strong unit. Next, we have Gold Paladin with Gurguit, or as I like to call it, Get Good. It has a very interesting defensive mechanic that lets you, when GB2, at the end of turn, Soul Blast 1, Counterblast 1 to check top 4, mill 1, and give it plus 5k. If you mill the trigger, gets another 5k. In addition, when you stride, as usual, Gold Paladin will Counterblast and check top X cards and call something out. You have Campbell that when hits, checks top 5 and calls 1 out and give it plus 2. So it's great because it's free. You have Rising Shine Dragon that lets you set up that GB2. When it hits, Counterblast 1, turn over a G zone face up, check top 3 and call 2. The great thing is that you don't need to flip itself. So you can flip, tech cards like, the Messiah that we got for free to counter Link Jokers when you're playing against a non-Link Joker clan. Lastly, we have Holy Mage Pool. Rigor Circle GB1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's boosted, Counterblast 1, check top 3, and call 1. So again, doing a lot of superior calls, doing a lot of multi-attack, but you can definitely Rising Shine Dragon on your first stride, set up your GB2 Gurguit, and try to, set up your defense if necessary. Next, we have Dimension Police with some Daikaiser support, Ultimate Dimension Robo support. You have some Enigma support. There's a little bit of everything, so there's no clear focus. But I guess most people are jumping onto the Metalborg, scene with the Metalborg FC stride. But it's still good to mention that the clan event does give DP good units to play around with. So Great Daikaiser is the Legion with Great Dayusha. So bringing the two grades together, you have extra crit, you have guard restrict. It's quite nice. Enigma Tornado breathes life into the Enigma archetype. You can, when this attacks, at the end of the battle, this unit attacks the Vanguard. If its power is 19k or greater, right before attacking, Counterblast 1, discard 2 to write an Enigma Store from your soul, draw 2, and that unit gets plus 10k. Enigma Store gets an extra crit when it hits over that 15k threshold. So definitely very strong. And also Vanguard Circle, put an Enigma from your hand into your soul, and this unit gets plus 4k power until end of turn. So, helps you set up that 19k as long as you have another unit that procs that gives that extra power. You also have Dimension Robo Daijet, which I think is really amazing. Rigor Circle GB1, when placed, return a grade 3 Dimension Robo from your drop zone to your deck. To have one of your Vanguards get plus 4k, and the following ability, when it hits, Counterblast 1, draw a card, and drawing is good, extra power is good, and returning a grade 3 that you might need to Legion, or just a trigger, is also very good. Lastly, we have a bunch of strides, so I can't really mention everyone, but Cosmic Hero X Rogue is the most vanilla. When this hits, if its power, including boost, is 37k or greater, draw a card and choose one of your opponent's rearguards at random with priority to back row and retire it. So it's simple, it's straightforward, it's flexible for any Dimension Robo deck. So, that Dimension Police deck. So definitely, good to have handy. And lastly, we have Murakumo with Yasui GB2. When a rearguard is put into your deck by your card effect, call a card with the same name as that card from your deck. It's mandatory, so you can't choose to not call something. You have to call something out. Vanguard Circle, when you stride, Counterblast 1, call a card from your hand, choose one of your rearguards and call up to 2 copies with the same name from your deck, and then put those units to the bottom of your deck at the end of the turn. So luckily, if you superior call a grade 2, then you get to call 2 copies out. Luckily, the GB2 lets you, call something back to the front row and set up your defense if you need it. You mainly, honestly, want Magatsu Typhoon, which is the Legion for the existing Magatsu support that you probably might have with Murakumo. When you Legion, all of your Magatsu rearguards get plus 5k and boost until end of turn. And Vanguard Circle once per turn, discard a card with your name from your hand to call a card with the same name as your Vanguard from your deck and return that unit to your hand at the end of the turn. So, of course, Magatsu Typhoon went into Legion with the grade 3 Magatsu. You can still use the grade 3 skill. So, you discard a card to search for the same name for the Persona skill, and you can do a bunch of shenanigans and multi-attack stuff. I personally do think that in theory, Magatsu is probably the better approach because you have a better early game, you're not as reliant on your strutting, but Yasui is definitely not something to scoff off as well. You have a great ride in Homuro Rider, which is a restanding generation rare Vanguard. GB2 once per turn, Caramelast 2 Persona Blast, and it gets -1 drive, and the following ability, Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. Return 3 rearguards with the same name as same card name to your deck, stand this unit and draw a card. Quite strong. And lastly, we have Stealth Dragon Runestar, Rearguard Circle GB1. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if it's boosted, Caramelast 1, call a copy of itself from your deck and return that unit to your hand at the end of that turn. So yeah, generating multi-attacks is a bit risky, but if your opponent's at 5 and you just need those extra swings, then definitely go for it. So that's basically the 5 clans that mainly got supported through this set. Of course, I kind of ignored Fighters Collection. Probably gonna do a different video covering specifically Fighters Collection because every single clan got support. So it's kind of hard to bring them all up here, but look forward to that, and let me know if you're interested. Lastly, let's talk about some tournament results. There are honestly not a lot of tournament results that got posted, but let's discuss what we can. So first of all, we have the monthly set exclusive tournament where you can only use decks or clans from the new set. So for this set, it would be Messiah with Link Joker, you have Gold Paladin, and Shadow Paladin. The winner won with Shadow Paladin. So nice. No list though, but nice. We also have the Clan All-Stars that happened during mid-December. So there's a bunch of clans that got represented. The top few were Shadow Paladin at 8.9%, Kagero at 7.8%, Link Joker at 7.8%, Bermuda Triangle at 6.87%, and then you have some others like Narukami, Dimension Police, Aquaforce, Nova Grappler, Pale Moon, Gear Chronicle, Gold Paladin, Angel Feather, Neo Nectar, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And yeah, so there's actually a lot of clans that got supported. I mean, obviously with Fighters Collection, and a lot of clans that got represented. I think there's a lot of people that just want to show off with their favorite clans. Fighters Collection does influence the results, especially when we can't see the lists of the ones that topped. But what I can say is that Shadow Paladin is popular as ever. Hell yeah, for the edgy boys. Kagero is still up there in popularity, even with the Cross's nerf and all. Link Joker is also really popular, and Bermuda is also really up there as well. But overall, if you want to see tier lists or whatever, maybe check out Different Fights video. Of course, it's his opinion, so take it with a grain of salt as well. Not saying take it with a grain of salt because it's Different Fights video or his opinion. I'm saying take it with a grain of salt because it is an opinion. So, for what it's worth, it is an opinion, just like whatever I mentioned as well in my deck profiles. But I think it's a good place to start, and if you do have experience, I think you can make up your own judgment as well. So that's basically it for this video. Again, while I try to reflect everything that went on in JP, the global experience can be not one-to-one to the JP experience, especially with a big ass question mark with Fighters Collection at this point. But yeah, let me know down below which clan you're most hyped for this set. The 5 clans that we covered for this video. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already and want to see more. Special shout out to Kamui for being a member of this channel. Really appreciate the support, helps keep us going, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye.